on to who can least afford it. Whoa, whoa. Increase custom duties.
It's the poor man.
Cost of goods and services.
The poor man.
The businessman don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who just cannot afford it. Oh, oh. It's the poor people at the bottom paying for it. Oh, oh. Mama, woy.
Mama, woy, woy.
Mama, woy.
Mama, woy, woy.
Woman suffering.
We suffering.
Mama, woy, woy.
Mama, woy, woy.
Mama, woy, woy. Mama, woy. Lord, 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 no. Whoa, whoa. La da 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 da. Oh, oh. La da da. Oh. The youth from the ghetto, can't afford to go. No, no, to a chronic or Montana, reggae or calypso show. But those with the money, plenty money, getting complimentary. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All the promoters, them too, helping to keep it so. The money man get the best seat, while the poor man outside the gate. And the poor fans who care, they can't even go near the star they help to create. Rising ticket prices,
It's the poor man.
all government levies.
The poor man.
The merchant don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who can least afford it. Boy, government expenses,
It's the poor man.
rising spare part prices.
The poor man.
The businessman don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who.
Just cannot afford it.
Oh, he's the poor man at the bottom, paying for it. Boy, boy, mama, boy,
Mama, woy, woy.
mama, boy,
Mama, woy, woy.
woman suffering.
We suffering.
Sing, mama, boy, boy,
Mama, woy, woy.
mama, boy, boy, mama, boy. Sing it out loud. Whoa, 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 boy. Don't fret to cry, don't fret to cry. Whoa, 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 boy. When come to work security, is more stress and worry. Plenty worry. Cause your job, as you know, here today but not sure tomorrow. And when things get crucial, real crucial, and it's time to cut back, yeah, it's always the laborer man, not management, getting the axe. The rich man always gets richer, cause society does give him more. Plenty more. And the poor man with 3 children or 4 in a shanty, sleeping on the floor. All cut back on wages,
It's the poor man.
high management salaries.
The poor man.
The merchant don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who can least afford it. Whoa, whoa. The healthcare costs keep rising.
It's the poor man.
More poor people dying.
The poor man.
The businessman don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who just cannot afford it. Yeah. It's the poor people at the bottom paying for it. Hey, oh, mama, woman suffering.
We suffering.
Mama woy woy,
Mama woy woy.
mama woy woy,
Mama woy woy.
mama woy woy.
Woy.
Land and door. Da 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 da. Whoa whoa whoa. Hey, whoa whoa. Who feeding the nation? Tell me, who teaching the children? But the more they labor, is the power they getting power. Tell me, who cleaning the city? Who to keep the people healthy? Hey. Man, they take and they take, but never get piece of the cake. The poor man put government in power up there, but the rich man get all the favor. Everything, everything. So I'm here tonight to play my part, to sing on the poor man's behalf. Who paying the VAT?
Is the poor man.
Who is the system doormat?
The poor man.
The merchant don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who can least afford it. Tell me who you see in prison
Is the poor man.
for the simplest reason.
The poor man.
The businessman don't feel it, no. He just pass it on to who just cannot afford it. Whoa, whoa, is the poor man at the bottom paying for it? Hey, 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 mama woy,
Mama woy woy.
mama woy,
Mama woy woy.
woman suffering.
We suffering.
Mama woy, woy,
Mama woy woy.
mama woy, woy, mama woy, woy.
Woy.
La la no. Think about it first. Boy, mommy, oh, hey, hey, aligi dan dan do, di dan dan. Hey, hey, oh boy. As a calypsonian, the true voice of the people. To lead you on the right path, I'm responsible. The decisions you make not only decides your fate, but is an entire country. It could make or break. The Lord power been vested in you from the day that you were born. We are king and queens, we have control, not to be used as any pawn. That God-given gift so we can know what is right from what is wrong. And in everything that we do, always in for positive outcome. Look before you leave, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a big, big heap of look before you leap. For curiosity, take a peep. Look before you end up drowned in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you're sure about it. Don't jump, don't act like you're mad.
Don't jump.
It might be too dangerous. Think about it first.
Don't jump.
Once you leave the rock,
Don't jump.
and not turning back. No, no, try to avoid disaster. Oh, yo, yo. Don't let selfishness and greed be your hindrance. This will surely block your way once given a chance. And all the strides you have made to progress that will fade. And all the goals that you set out for suddenly is all great. Be a leader and don't just follow. Or you could end up following clowns. Or you could be like birds that should be soaring, but somehow can get off the ground. With every step that you'll be taking, make sure you take a long hard look. And one thing to always remember, the cover can't help you judge the book. Look before you leave, cause what you sow you reap. you end up in a pile of Look before you leap. For curiosity, take a peek. Look before you end up drowning in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you're sure about it. Don't jump, don't act like you're mad. Don't jump. It might be too dangerous. Think about it first. Don't jump. Once you leave the rock, don't jump. And no turning back. No, no. Think about it, my brother. Ah, yeah. Ah, yo. Oh. Don't invest in anything you don't know about. And don't take chances if you are ever in doubt. You must thoroughly investigate. You can afford to make no mistake. But by the time you realize it's already late. Better shooting at what you can see or looking for needles in the dark. Are you in a hurry going somewhere, but the horse is behind the cart? I saw people who thought by all means they made all the right decisions. Now they're living with so much regrets. They jump from the pot to the frying pan. Look before you leave, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a pile of Look before you leave. For curiosity, take a peep. Look before you end up drowning in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you're sure about it. Don't jump, don't act like you're bad. Don't jump. It might be too dangerous. Think about it first. Don't jump. Once you leave the rock, don't jump. And no turning back. No, no. Try to avoid disaster. No, 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 my brother. Don't go. No, no. After everything now, at the end of the day, you are the one who have the final say. So whether it's jobs or relationships or even elections, the mandate is always there resting in your hands. Man, don't venture if it's looking blurry. You don't know what's behind closed curtain. You know what you had for the past years, but you don't know what's coming in. You don't want to see that the outcome is something that you always feared. Avoid self-disgust when it's over and the smoke is already cleared. Look before you leave, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a pile of
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique once again. It is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Island of Grenada.
Don't act like you're mad.
Well, at least in my neck of the woods, it's a rainy night tonight, yeah. Had to battle through the rain to get to transport and then battle out. Yeah, it's a pretty rainy one tonight. You know, if only people had listened to that Randy, yeah, look before you leap.
To make no mistake, but by the time you realize it's already late. Better shooting at what you can see or looking for needles in the dark. Are you in a hurry going somewhere, but the horse is behind the cart? I saw people who thought by all means they made all the right decisions. Now they're living with so much regrets. They jump from the pot to the frying pan. Look before you leave, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a pile of Look before you leave. For curiosity, take a peep. Look before you end up drowning in the deep.
Let me say a special good night to all of you joining us via the various mediums.
Don't jump.
And let me see my Facebook crew.
It might be too
Folks, just remember, I want you all to touch the like button. I ain't find again my 100 like the last night, you know. No. I want my 100 likes tonight. All right, those of you on YouTube, make sure to like and then share. All right, yeah, share it via WhatsApp, share it via Facebook, share it via everything from you. Yeah, like and share. And those of you on the Facebook, also like and put the word out. Yeah, Talking Points is on. Yeah, tonight is what? Pre-night? Yeah, well, if today was pre-day, tonight is pre-night. Wilt Cambridge, good night, bro. Yeah, well, I know you're probably down the stadium organizing and getting ready to start later.
Look before you leave. Cause what you sow you reap.
Let me say a good night to Nurse Maguire.
In a pie.
Nursey, since you come, I ain't see you yet, don't worry. I'm going to make sure that either tomorrow or Friday or what God's willing, I'm going to make sure that I see you. Nice.
Before you end up drowning in the deep.
And I know many of you who usually listen to Talking Points outside of Grenada, you're here right now and so on. Yeah, don't worry, you're going to wait to find me, man.
It might be today.
I will make myself available by the weekend so that you all will meet up with me, all right?
Leave the rock.
Don't jump.
And
Passing in vehicle. Shalan, hey, think about it, listen to you from New York. Right, yeah, okay, all right, my friends. Gonna make sure that we meet up, all right?
don't invest in anything you don't know about.
Good night to you, Joyce Phillip. Hope that you're having a wonderful night tonight. Kanisha Charles, good night to you. And Joseph, Ingrid Bourne, Louisa Williams, John Mark, Shay Gerard Mitch, good night to you. Cynthia Bay, Diana Romney, Claude Abraham, Winnie Simon, Mavis Thorne, Ann Jackson, Sean Algary, Lornette Charles, Devon Haywood, Shirley Lacrette, Olive McQueen, Laurette Charles, Phyllis Ramsey, Dennis Fabrio, Lynn Joseph, Davis Charles. I think I called you already, Davis, but you got a second one. Redgard Pascal, Maudlin Bartholomew, Rodney Barry, Jill Williams, Cleaver Williams, William Jakim. Yep, was seen partners. J. Kim, sorry, I get it proper. J. Kim, good night to you, sir. Nice. Laslyn Douglas, Donna Langdon, June Julian, Malika. What's up, girl? How is St. Mark going? All right. Patrick Joseph, Tessa McFarlane, Joycelyn Francois, Sharon Felix, Joan Henry, Veronica Frederick, Beverly Etienne, and the Sherms. Good night to you, Sherms hosting. Manda Charles. Let me see. Don't ask where Wendy and Maguire did. Wendy and maybe organizing to go in pre-day. Right? Max and Francis, good night to you and the home whole circle out there in PT Martinique. Margaret Felix, Kester Victor, Enid Decoto, Junior George, Leroy St. Paul. Yeah, Raul Lewis, good night to you as well. Let me see, anybody I missed in between, they just hit me a message, man. Just hit me a message. All right, and over on the YouTube, let me start from the top tonight. Agnes Henry, Gemma Warwood, Cynthia, Faithlyn Hallie Douglas, Mayana Julian, Hillary Joseph, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, Sandra Pascal, Sherma Jeremiah, Matthew Boyne, Ann Andrews, Carib Spice, Kathleen Ledlow, Jackie Raymond, Cynthia Paris, Alban Harris, Mago Filbert, Jacinta Livingston, Wilfred Antoine, Deborah Laborde, Miriam, where are you? I haven't seen you yet, Phyllis Mitchell, Carl Jones, Dominic Leroy, Josanne Lashington, Vanessa Lalji, Deborah Laborde, Baby Daddy, Stephanie John, Clive Raymond, Earl Benjamin, Sky, good night. Oh, Miriam, here you are. Miriam out there in London, good night to you. Adrian Watts, good life. Kim Creedland, Martha, good night. Jocelyn Matheson, good night. Michelle Alexander, Marlon Panchu, did I call you out? But good night again. Pastor Casimir, good night to you. And the home circle, Hermina Baptiste, Errol Bonaparte, Alcy, good night to you. Peters, Veronica Lewis, Maud Martin, Devin James, Gavin Thomas, Michelle Alexander, and Barbara, good night. Alan Jones, good night to you. And how is Zoe tonight? Yeah, Zayla, feel I miss out. Zayla, I ain't miss you out. Good night, Zayla. And good night, Xavier. Angie, Eliza Bernard, Jesse Sherry, Fatman George, Rastafari, brother. Rakashima Roberts, good night. Dominic Antoine, I see you in the house, bro. Gloria Francois, Stephen Simon, Sarah Lynn Jeremiah, Oswald Belfont, Gloria Francois, I called Gloria Francois already. Yeah, Lucy Andrew, Kathleen Knights, Irvin McSween out there in London, Christine Otley, Amanda Moses, Jerome Lewis, Ivor Holas. Good night to you, Cami. I know you're locked in. Good night to you. Yeah, Patricia and Matthew out there in Canada. And a special good night to you as well, my good friend Ian out there in Canada. I know that you're locked in. Zingo, well, I don't know if you're here. I don't know if you're there. I don't know, but good night to you, Zingo. Kathy Albert, Kathy Pope, good night to both of you. Martin, you and your lovely wife down there in Grand Dance, good night to you. Mr. and Mrs. Cruikshank, good night to you. Mommy George, good night to you as well. Yeah, spread anything all over. Yeah, somebody go say I forget them. Eh? Yes, I will still get it. I ain't getting away. I still ain't getting away. Mm-hmm.
You must thoroughly investigate. You can afford to.
Haro, good night. And Goddess Bella, good night to you.
It's already late. Peter shooting at what you can see or looking for needles in the dark. Are you in a hurry going?
Kieran, good night. Dwight Ferguson, Landon, you're late tonight. Hey. Louisa Frame, Bernadette Joseph, Kingsley Paul, good night to all of you. Good night to all of you.
Look before you leave. Cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up.
You know, and I haven't spoken yet about the session that the New National Party had on Friday, and I mentioned it. But I don't think I showed you all the photos from that. Let me just show you all some of the photos. These are photos from the session that the New National Party had on crime. And so that took place at the Parliament building on Friday last, yeah? And they have sent out a press release, the opposition. Well, I'm saying the New National Party is the opposition that had that. And it says, His Majesty's opposition expresses sincere appreciation to the organizers and sectors represented at the consultation on crime convened last Friday. The consultation took place at the Parliament building with representatives from various sectors, including businesses, religious organizations, non-governmental organizations, individuals involved in social work and community development, former public officers, police officers, principals, and teachers. The participants were assigned to various groups to discuss, examine, and identify how different sectors of society can contribute to maintaining peace and reducing crime and violence in the short and medium term. The opposition believes the drastic increase in homicides and suicides in Grenada, those must not be treated lightly and requires an urgent multi-sectoral approach to find solutions. The participants were reminded that in response to a similar increase in crime several years ago, the former New National Party government convened an urgent meeting with religious leaders, followed by a national consultation bringing stakeholders together, and successfully developed a 5-year strategic plan, which was later reviewed and revised. We firmly believe that the issues of crime, violence, and antisocial behaviors should never be influenced by politics or partisanship, but require a holistic approach to thwart this scourge. Consequently, the government of Grenada and the National Democratic Congress were invited. Unfortunately, they did not attend. Let me read that part again just in case you all didn't hear it. Consequently, the government of Grenada and the National Democratic Congress were invited. Unfortunately, they did not attend. Leader of His Majesty's opposition, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, reiterated that both at the Parliament level and during his national address to the nation, he indicated opposition's willingness to assist the government in bringing the current crime situation under control and stands ready to collaborate where possible. He called on the government to exhibit leadership and initiate action. Among the many recommendations, the participants noted the need for greater support for families, communities, and the police, widespread life skills programs at the school and community levels, and greater involvement of parents in the lives of children. A full report of the consultation and ongoing discussions will be shared with the government and other stakeholders. So that is a release that was sent out in relation to the consultation that was held by the New National Party. Well, not the New National Party, the opposition. Yeah, there's two different parties, the opposition is the opposition, right? So the opposition at the Parliament building on Friday last, all right? Nice, beautiful. Let me just make sure I have my thing queue up here. Nice, because we have a lot to talk about tonight, huh?
Don't let selfishness and greed be your hindrance. This will surely block your way once given a chance. And all these strides you have made to put.
Some police officers say they wish they did look before they leap, because when they see coming for fringe benefits, they...
Be a leader and don't just follow. Or you could end up following clowns. Or you could be like birds that should be soaring, but somehow can get off the ground. With every step that you'll be taking, make sure you take a long hard look. And one thing to always remember, the cover can't help you judge the book. Look before you read, cause what you sow you reap.
And you see now, they remember, you had the Prime Minister the day before saying that he's willing to work together with everybody and extending a special hand to the opposition to work with them in relation to the issue of crime and violence. Remember the same crime and violence that Kerwin, ACP, I think is Assistant Commissioner, one of them who gain a raise of nearly $800 or so a month. Yeah. That he said, really, people shouldn't be concerned about. That is what the Assistant Commissioner of Police was saying there, that we shouldn't be really concerned. Yet still the Prime Minister was out doing address day, having press conferences in relation to an issue that, as far as ACP Kerwin is concerned, we shouldn't really be worried about. But anyway, the Prime Minister extended a hand to the New National Party. But even before he extended that hand, a hand was extended to him. So you put your hand for him to shake, he turn it back on your hand, and then afterwards, he come and he pushing his hand now for you to shake. Yeah? So remember, this activity that took place on Friday was in planning for a couple weeks. Letters went out to all the relevant government ministries, and it went out to the National Democratic Congress as a political organization as well. Yeah? None of them showed up. None. Zero. Zil. Zot. None. The government ministries, they didn't show up. Neither did a representative of the NDC show up to that activity. And again, it wasn't an activity that was branded as a New National Party activity. It was the leader of His Majesty's opposition holding a session in relation to a national issue. The same issue that the Prime Minister is saying he's willing to work with the opposition on, yet still he did not find it important to ensure that at least somebody from one of the ministries who are supposed to be guiding the process that's taking place on this issue, nobody from the Ministry of Youth, nobody from the Ministry of Social Services, nobody from the Ministry of Health, nobody from the Ministry of National Security. So you're telling me not even one person from any of those ministries could have been spared for a couple hours to meet and speak on this important issue. But then now that the New National Party has started it, and you see it, let me put it up again, just in case you're just joining us and you didn't get to see. Yeah, just in case you didn't get to see. Now that the New National Party has started it, you have the Prime Minister saying now that they are going to do consultations. And they are inviting the New National, when they've already showed an unwillingness to work along with the New National Party on this issue. So you have people that are here in Grenada who can work on this issue, who understand it, who have ideas that can be implemented on the issue of crime and violence, yeah, that are willing to ensure to work along with you. But you ain't willing to work along with them. You see, words and actions. Words versus actions. Yeah? You can tell somebody you love them as much as possible. If you don't show it, that person has to be suspicious. You could say as much as possible that you want to work along with the NNP on this issue and so on. Nice words. It's good to say that. It sounds nice for the optics and all that kind of thing. Yeah? It looks nice to go in front of the camera and say that. But at the point in time that you're saying that, you were invited to a session on the same issue with the New National Party. You didn't find it important to show up. And even you're the Prime Minister, you may have been busy None of your ministers, none of your lower level people within a ministry, not a project officer, nobody could have been spared to attend a session like that. Again, nobody's begging, but we're saying that in the best interest of the nation, it would have been good had they taken part in this activity, seeing that it was the first one done and by people that understand and know what they're doing. So now they're saying they're going to have consultations all over the island on the same issue that, remember, ACP Cohen said we ain't supposed to be worried about. And that some of us, because I train one for people like me and those of you that call on this issue, yeah, that we shouldn't be worried about crime. That we really do, until my good friend Nimrod Olivier took apart his entire presentation. Yeah, he shred that. He's talking nonsense. Yeah, you're twisting up figures and all kind of thing. Men used to lose their work in the NYPD for that. Yeah, misrepresenting the figures. Yeah? So, we are at this stage now where we've had that spike. We're hoping that nothing untoward happens. Especially over the next couple of days where we know there's going to be a lot of revelry taking place in Grenada. So we're hoping that everything goes all well and okay, and we continue to pray for that. We continue to ask the religious leaders to pray. My good friends up there in Brooklyn, yeah, your name is what I'm trying to remember, you know. Yeah, you're supposed to be a cousin of mine. Nice, yeah, you called the last time, you and your mom. So we hope that everything is going all well and okay with you. All right? And hey, let me say, as I'm saying, Brooklyn as well, let me say a special good night to Noise Radio 94.9. Those of you listening via that frequency or who are listening online via either the Noise Radio app or listening to Noise Radio online, we say a special good night to each and every one of you. Wade, I wonder if Wade down here. Next thing I hear in Wade, and it's because Wade down here, you know. Wade is that kind of guy.
Look before you end up in a pile of
shaving cream. Yes, folks, 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. 440-737-77. You can call us on WhatsApp. You can call us directly. And let me just say this as well. Last night I went into something there. And yeah, remember I was showing all of the government gazette last night. And them kind, I wonder if I could pull it up here. Let me see if I could pull it up. Yeah, I was showing all of the government gazette last night. Let me see. No, I still didn't pull it up on the screen yet. Nice, right. Yeah, the government gazette. Yeah, and we was looking at different aspects of the government gazette. And so, yeah, so we was looking at the fact that the land presently vested in Timebook, that is the company that is owned by Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, that those lands, that Issa Nichols, that's the company that Radisson is based. Yeah, Radisson, Issa Nichols, and so right, all of them in one thing. So as it is right now, yeah, the fees in relation to that land is being paid to Timebook. That is being taken back. The land is being taken back by the government of Grenada. It's very interesting though, because who are the lawyers of Issa Nichols? Yeah, I wonder if anybody might be able to answer that. Who are the lawyers that are representative of the company that's down there at Radisson? And so, yeah, the company that developed that property, yeah, that down there now, yeah. Who are their lawyers? Because from what I'm hearing, the lawyers that have been representing Issa Nichols is Deacon Mitchell and Associates. I ain't say anybody thing. All I say, I'm just trying to give some context in relation to the entire thing. Yes, so I am saying that, yeah, this company here, Issa Nichols Grenada Limited, that the lawyers representing them in the recent past, and I wonder if they're still representing them right now, and if they are representing them right now, is it a case where a conflict of interest is taking place right now? Did the Prime Minister recuse himself from the cabinet decision to ask the Governor General to reclaim the lands that a client of his is on? Let me ask that question again. Did the Prime Minister, because we know he say he does recuse himself when things of conflict come up with CBI and it involved his company. Yeah, you can't say it's not his company, carry name. Yeah, right. So does the Prime Minister, or did the Prime Minister, we're very interested in any forum that he's on from henceforth, that question should be asked of him. And if I was him, I would have offered an answer even before somebody had to ask me that in an open forum anyway. Did the Prime Minister recuse himself from the cabinet meeting in which the decision to remove the lands from Tyne-Burke and place them back in the hands of the government of Grenada took place? And second to that, I'm kind of interested in knowing what the lease arrangement between Tyne-Burke and Issa Nicholas Limited, Grenada Limited is, what they were paying, what Issa Nicholas was paying to Tyne-Burke, and when the land is returned to the government of Grenada, that just happens to be headed up by the person who happened to have been the lawyer of Issa Nicholas, I would like to know what the new fees are, because we might find out that the fee end up being what? 10 cents a year for the next 100 years or 99 years or something. Yeah? So, or is the land going to be taken back by the government of Grenada and passed on to somebody else? So is the land going to be taken back and held by the government of Grenada? They're going to continue in ownership of that land? Or is the land going to be passed on to a third party, somebody that we're probably not hearing about yet? Is there another company? Because we hear in private plane does come and suitcases does come off and end up in place and thing. We hear in all them kind of thing. So we want to know, is there a third party in play here in relation to this issue? Yeah? Because remember, it was a cabinet decision. It was a cabinet decision to remove those lands from Tyne-Burke Holdings, from Lewis Hamilton, back to the government of Grenada, that is headed by an individual that was the lawyer of the company on which the land is right now, who just happens to be the Prime Minister. All right? So, I know I ain't getting sued because I know I ain't lying. So, I want to know, is it still a case where the lands, is it still a case where the lands will be held by the government of Grenada? Is it a case that the lands are being taken by the government of Grenada to hand over to somebody else? Is it a case that the lands are being taken to hand over to Issa Nicholas and company now for whatever reason? Yeah? Is it going to be handed over to them? We want to know. Because you see, they tried to gazette this on Friday because they said Rainbow City weekend, people like Shalan go on and drink and go on lime, and he ain't reading. So by the time this pass, it gone, and you ain't pay attention to it and so on, and forget that gone. Yeah, so they could get away with passing it through. But the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. I posted that this morning after some people having some problem with my Facebook page. Twice I lose access to it for the day. So let me see. I had to check just now and see if I lose access to it again. But in the interim, it says here, in the matter of a declaration by the Governor General that the freehold interest in reversion in the property situate at Mont Rouge, Grand Anse in the parish of St. George in the state of Grenada that is believed to be owned by and in possession of the company mentioned in the schedule below is to be acquired for a public purpose. Nowhere do I see what that public purpose is. Now, folks, land anywhere in Grenada can be taken by the state of Grenada for a public purpose. In other words, if government is doing a highway through a particular area and you own lands there, according to the Constitution of Grenada, the highest law in the land, government can seize that property. Yeah, because it's for a public purpose, for the betterment of each and every Grenadian. So that highway is being built. That is in the interest of all Grenadians. It is for a public purpose. That land can be seized. Yeah? You have to be compensated. They can't just take it and forget you. You have to be compensated at market value for the land that's taken. That's the law. So they can seize your property if it is for a public purpose. You're building a school. You need a couple acres extra or whatever. And it encroaches onto somebody's property that they're using for whatever purpose. It's for a public purpose. Then you can seize that property and you have to pay the person for their property. All right? So just remember that. Constitutionally, any government can seize any property in Grenada once it's for a public purpose. I am wondering what is the public purpose that this land is being taken over for right now. I haven't seen anything that speaks to what the public purpose is. Whereas it is provided in effect by Section 3 of the Land Acquisition Act, Chapter 159 of the continuous edition of the 2010 revised laws. I'll pull that up in a while for you all to see, of Grenada, that if the Governor General acting in accordance with the advice of Cabinet, let me just highlight that there, with the advice of the Cabinet of Grenada, considers that any property in Grenada should be acquired for a public purpose, she may cause a declaration to that effect to be made. So, the Governor General is not doing this on her own. She didn't get up and decide, I'm taking that land back and give the government. No. She's working on the advice of Cabinet. The chairman of Cabinet has acted as the lawyer of the company that has an active business on the lands that are being acquired by the state of Grenada. Let me say that again, because I want to be clear. Yeah? I want to make some fair public comments in relation to these issues tonight. The property on which those lands, the buildings and so on, the business that's operating on those lands, the lawyer that has represented that company, and I don't know if the law firm could say he's not practicing law. The law firm is owned by you. When the law firm make money, it's still going to go into your bank account. Yeah, so saying you're not practicing and so is just, that is something you tell fools out there. You don't tell people who listen to talking points that. Tell that to somebody that don't understand, can't. No. Don't try to tell us, people who listen to this program, no. They know better than that. Not because you are not practicing, but the company is in your name. The company is owned by you. Maybe others might have shares in it. But it means that if the company make $10, we know at least $2 or $3 out of it is going to go into your pocket. So don't give us the thing about you ain't practicing. You own the company. Is the company still the lawyer of Issa Nicholas Grenada Limited? And if so, did the Prime Minister recuse himself from the Cabinet meeting at which this advice was concocted to give to the Governor General? That's a fair question. That is a fair comment in relation to this particular issue. Yeah, so we see the first publication. I'm looking out for the second publication, because on the second publication, it means that Timebrook Holdings is no longer holding on to the land, but the land is now back in the hands of the government of Grenada. And therefore, I want to see after that if the lands are going to be leaving the government of Grenada and ending up in anybody else's hand. And if not, I want to know what the lease agreement is going to be between Issa Nicholas Grenada Limited and the government of Grenada. And remember who Issa Nicholas Grenada Limited lawyer is supposed to be. After tonight, they might change lawyers, but we know who their lawyers are supposed to be. So first things first, did the Prime Minister recuse himself? Did the Prime Minister recuse himself? That's the first question. Yeah? The second question, right? The second question is what is going to be done with the land. So if a decision has been made to take the land back, there must be some sort of plan for it. According to Macaulay last night, we're going to put the hospital down there. What is going to be taking place with that land? Right? So I think that's a fair comment to make in relation to that issue, isn't it? Yeah, I think that I think that is a fair comment to make in relation to that particular issue there. I'm really interested in finding out what is going to be taking place, yeah? I don't know. Maybe Papa Jerry Tea Factory going and go down there. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe Jerry Tea Factory going and go down there. That could be a case like that. Yeah, might be Jerry Tea Factory that going on. He's selling all kind of tea. Might have to expand the business. Papa Jerry! Good luck tomorrow night, bro. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right, brother. Go right ahead. You're live.
Listen to what you're saying there. Pieces of the puzzle started falling in place. Don't you know that Anthony Boswin was Issa Nicholas' main man when he owned Ramana Renaissance?
Oh, so that could
Yes.
Okay.
That is how the puzzle coming to fit in. He was Issa Nicholas' main man in Ramada Renaissance when Issa Nicholas owned it, Anthony Boswin. Just food for thought.
All right, my brother. So you mean when we see certain people hanging out with certain people and things, there's another part of it starting to.
Who was the lawyer? Who was the lawyer for Issa Nicholas? Then we get to realize what is going on.
Their law firm might still be the law firm representing,
Yeah, so that is why you see Boston hanging out. And yeah, I could tell you that I used to work there at the time.
All right.
So what I'm saying there is no perhaps.
Well, if I thought was a perhaps, I'd have stopped you,
No, I tell you it is a fact. It was his main man down there. Okay, sir, good night.
All right, thank you so very much. 440-7377, that's the number for you to call. Give us a call, man. Yeah. I don't know, maybe the tea factory that going down there, man. Yeah, Papa Jerry selling all kind of tea.
Integrity, buy one cup and get one free. Man, honesty, you will never deceive nobody. Accountability, everything is just how it should be. Responsibility.
Somebody says it's to house the new prison. I don't know about that one.
It's property cheaper than your vote. Forget rum, forget Heineken, and come and support healthy living. Oi, oi. Mama, 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 mama. Ay, 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 ay. Yes, man. My first year in business start like a bang. I was happy to see what
Good night to you, Ruth.
people stop drinking bush for people fever.
You see, you just have to comment for me to see the name, eh? Yeah. Ruth, good night to you. I just got the message. Good night.
They decide to stop drink milk and Milo, Lipton, Ovaltine and cocoa. They ain't drinking black stage no more. Prosperity making the children grow. I selling integrity.
So, well, we see people lying with people who, Issa Nicholas, ring on finger, paliwao, and them kind of thing. Good night, cousin Stacy. Good night to you. And the entire home circle. Auntie, everybody, good night to each and every one of you. And I say a special good night to cousin Margaret as well, Gemlin, Millie, all of you. Good night. Ira. But I miss your call today, man. I'll call you back. Don't worry. You know me. You know sometimes how it does go. All right. 440-7377. So, we seeing pictures with the paliwal of Issa Nicholas and thing hanging out. The land is being taken back. So, the lawyer, the former lawyer of Issa Nicholas and Issa Nicholas paliwal Lyman. Yeah. And the land is being taken back from Timberg. So, I want to know, maybe the land might end up in somebody's hand freehold. Is it going to end up freehold in somebody else? I wonder who hand it might end up in. Let's see how this develops, eh? But you see, when they put it on Friday. Now, the Gazette comes out on a Friday anyway. So, they put it in that Gazette. Around this time, they could have put it a couple weeks ago. They could have done it after the carnival. But no, they put it now because they think now that all of us, we focused on carnival and going and play job and, they think we outside there doing all of that. So we're not focusing on what's going on so they could slip one or two things through. Yeah? That's what they feel. But let us stay there and feel so, yeah. Other things in that Gazette are to talk to, yeah.
Man, honesty, you will never deceive nobody. Accountability, everything is just how it should be. responsibility. You go take good care of your family. So please.
Because several companies have been decertified under the Citizenship by Investment program. In other words, there are companies that previously were able to gain investment through the Citizenship by Investment program. They were certified by the government of Grenada as CBI projects. And as such, people could get involved in CBI, and they could get involved by attaching themselves to those particular programs. So projects, several of those projects have now been decertified. So they are no longer CBI projects. How they're going to fund themselves and so is going to be a different case. I know how they're going to be funding themselves and so. But so for instance, New Opportunities Investment Limited, that has been decertified. You have Hope Development Limited, La Ponte, Grenada. So that project there in Hope, that was a CBI project. It's no longer a CBI project. That project up there in Hope, the development project that was taking place there, that has now been decertified from being a CBI project. All right, so there's one here, the Grenada Corolla Consultant Limited. And so there's Horseshoe Cove Resort. Yeah, Horseshoe Cove Resort, that has been decertified, so as it shall not, as of the 7th day of July, advertised that project, so they can't think anything under that. Port Louis, that one is the most interesting one to me. So Port Louis has been decertified as well. So Port Louis has been decertified. It's no longer a CBI project. So I know now to see what else going on with them thing and them. That tell it have other things to discuss in this, it have other things to discuss in that, but I ain't ready yet. Don't worry, we want everything to get lost in Carnival. You understand? Yeah, we're gonna discuss them thing and them afterwards and thing. Nice? Good. 4407377. That's the number to call and get onto the inside. We have a caller. Good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Brother Sheldon, it seems like some people in your country right now who are speaking, who are the voice for the people that they say the care and the love. Like they playing the game of the price is right. Like they sell the care and the love for money. So then once money is offered and the price is right, they go in for the price. And they forgetting the people that they to say they talk about, they so care and they so love about, they forgetting them. Right? And Brother Sheldon Davis just said, he said money is not the root to all evil, but he said the love of money is the root to all evil. And when people put money in front of the love and care for people, I consider the people that fake. They only speaking about love and care. The love and the care they practice of people. But then a price offer and they go in for the price and they forget the care and the love they was preaching before for the poor class of people. When you look at the situation now, what is happening in the country, what the government is doing towards the poor class of people, I ask myself the question, Brother Sheldon. The people who was speaking until they champion the cause of the poor and the less fortunate people in the country. Right now, the cause and the champion is no longer there. What is there now? The love of money. Right? And Brother Sheldon, that's what we see now. People that was talking about they love and they so care about people, that not existing in some people's thoughts. What is existing now? Money. I want money. So you forget the people and then you're going for the price is right. The price is right for them, so then they accept the price and they forget the care and the love they are speaking all the time, and we just say that they love and they care people. And Brother Sheldon, they will say, once you are patient, you will see unveiling. And once you are patient, Brother Sheldon, you will see two people. The people who are speaking about they love and they care for one another, you're going to know if you really care. But if you really care about people, you see in the good and the bad times, you will be there with them. And in the bad times, You're supposed to stand with them and fight the struggle with them. So, Brother Sheldon, have a blessing.
All right. Thank you so very much. 440-7377. 440-7377. Yeah. Somebody saying decertifying a project could be a sneaky way to force someone to sell it to another for less. Well, yeah, that is an actual possibility that, if you decertify a project that has already started, is up and running, or has been stalled for a while because enough people have not been getting involved in it, and so decertifying it, and somebody else has the money and they could buy it. You never could tell. All of that could be taking place. We've got a call online. Good night. Hello. Caller, you're live. Okay, we've lost that caller. 440-7377. You can call the number. And those of you outside, 347-329-3101. Yeah? 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. I'm just seeing some of the comments. And don't you all even think that I've forgotten the 102-year-old lady? I was not able to leave home during the day today due to certain circumstances. But I know I do have some stuff to collect by Cami and try to get it to the family. And those of you that want to get the number so you can contact them directly, especially if you're in the St. Patrick area, or even if you're in St. Andrew and you could get it up to St. Patrick, or you're in St. Mark, St. John, you could get it up to St. Patrick. Just let me know, message me on the WhatsApp, the 440-7377 WhatsApp, and I will be able to pass on the number for you to directly contact the individuals to assist them. Because there should be no situation in our country where an individual, a centenarian, that has gotten to that stage should be allowed to be in that condition at this point in time. There's no way that should be allowed to happen. We all should take a little bit of responsibility. If the family don't want to take responsibility, is one thing. But as a nation, we should be ashamed that something like this is allowed to happen. Just saying it as it is. We should be ashamed to know that something like this is happening in our country right now. And those that ought to deal with it, we need to call on them to address the situation.
To see what was going on.
Remember just a few months ago, that big thing. While people was talking about $1 million loan that the Minister of Health get to build house. That is what we hear. That is a fair comment. That we hear the Minister of Health get a multi-million-dollar loan, or at least a $1.7 million loan. We hear in different figures. That's the allegations that we hearing out there. That he get a $1.7 million loan to buy a house or build a house or whatever. We hearing through the GDP. That is what we've heard. Right after that, instead of we hear him say, yes, it's true, no, it's not true. Instead of that, we had the launch of the community healthcare program. Now, the community healthcare program means that you're supposed to be sending the medical professionals into the community for situations just like that one, where someone at that age who is not mobile, who should receive that special care, that the medical team would go and do what has to be done. But if the structure is not proper to allow the nurses, because I know some of the nurses in St. Patrick, and I know that they're good people. I know some of them personally. I know some of them, they are good people. They may not like me. I hear them sitting, but I know some of them personally, and in my belief, they are good people. Not all, but I know some of them. Now, if the structure is proper, that they can go out and do their job, that is one thing. But if the structure is not proper, and if the instruments, and if the medication, etc., that they're supposed to have to go out and do the community thing is not there, then you see some of what you're seeing happening there. So the structure itself has to be fixed. Because if the medication is there, the gauze, all these things are there, if everything is there for them to go out and do it, and the structure is there for them to go out and do it, and they ain't going out and do it, is one thing. That's why oftentimes in a leadership position or in a management position, when someone fails at a task, you can't just jump and start to blame the individual who has failed at the task. You have to assess whether or not did I, as management, provide to that individual all the tools that they need to get the job done. Somebody's a plumber, but they don't have a wrench, they don't have nothing, but you expect them to go and plumb. Well, not pick plumbing, but do the plumbing. Right? Did I provide them with the tools? Did I give them proper information saying where and what I need done and how I need it done? Did I give them a time frame in which it's supposed to be done? Yeah? So sometimes you have to do the self-assessment yourself. We have a caller online.
Good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night. How are you?
Oh, doing good. Nice weather, man. Nice
All right.
weather.
You go right ahead.
Yes, listen, Brother Sheldon. Well, maybe the caller that just called, he talk about the prices right. We might have to add deal or no deal.
But you see, well, with deal or no deal is one thing. The price is right is the next thing. But I used to like this one. We had to buy them a vowel because I think some of them need a vowel.
Oh, Jeopardy.
Is Jeopardy that you have to buy a vowel and thing? Is Jeopardy
Yes.
or Wheel of Fortune?
Yes.
Wheel of Fortune. I
Yes.
like to buy a vowel.
That's right. Yeah, listen. I pray, brother, that what we heard this evening on the newscast, GBN, it's really not true. You understand?
I did get a chance to listen to the news tonight. Usually I do on the way here, but I didn't get a chance tonight. What transpired?
Right. So, Brother Jude Bartholomew, the president of the teachers union, speak to that he's been drawn to call to his attention that they had some discussion, right, a workshop, and in the workshop they mentioned this LGBT
LGBTQ rights, yeah.
right, that this would be taught in the classrooms.
Which classroom?
Right, added to the curriculum.
Hold up, Pastor.
Yes.
Which classroom?
The classrooms of the schools
In which
Grenada.
country?
In Grenada, West Indies. Bishop Devon Riche, right? And also Jude Bartholomew speak about it. Right? Now, I am so concerned, or we ought to be concerned, or we are concerned that the book supreme that we use, right, as our guide for spiritual morality and etc., and even the constitution of our country is drawn up through that book, right? And I think in section 400 of the constitution of the state of Grenada make mention to the fact that homosexuality, lesbianism.
But that's let me stop you there. That's not in the Constitution. Let me just clarify that that's not in the Constitution. They are part of the criminal code does
Yes.
address that issue, but it's not.
Right.
I like to be very, very specific with my
yes.
information here.
Yes,
That is
yes,
not in
yes.
the Constitution. The criminal,
well,
it's in the criminal code though.
In the criminal code.
Yes, it's in the criminal code.
Right, so in the criminal code, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yes, I refrain, yes. So we are taking a very close look at this, because if that is going to be the case, I mean, you could teach that, you could do that privately, you could do what you want to do in a private aspect, but in making this law or mandatory that you teach such subject in school, I think they tried to get a minister and they couldn't find him, the Minister of Education.
They couldn't find the minister. All of a sudden GBN can't find ministers. They used to find them in a juking hole up in Perseverance and thing. When they are piece of stick juking hole, they could have find them then. They can't find ministers now.
Well, we want them to know, Brother Sheldon.
The minister went kill a show last night, so he was sleeping all day. They couldn't find him.
I don't know. Well, but I want the authority to know. I'm speaking on behalf of our country. and my congregation and family and so on. I want them to know that nothing at all that they're going to try to sneak in the back door, they're going to get through with that. Because they are, you see, one of the ministers said they know how to get money, where to get money, and to pay salary and so on. And the other one said when man get nice, they say anything. The other one talking about dread, don't expose me so no dread, this kind of nonsense. Listen to me. These people need to understand that they are doing business for the people of this country. And we also want the international world to know, right, that whatsoever they try to do, right, in terms of influencing this administration or our authority, and it's not conducive or it's not according to the code of conduct or the laws of Grenada, we're going to stand firm against it.
Now they're moving forward, brother. You see they're moving forward. If the Grenada Union of Teachers president could come out and say that. Yeah. If Jude, I call him by proper name now, I ain't getting him a nickname tonight. He getting a proper name tonight. Right. If teacher Jude could come out and say that tonight, they're moving forward, brother. He ain't going to come out and say that, so they're moving forward.
And he said, brother, that the teachers are very upset with this thing, and I hats off to them.
The teachers upset with that? Yes. There's a lot of things I think the teachers need to find out about certain people in this place.
Right, but let me say this too, eh?
The same teachers who was jumping up and saying they are the best government ever?
Well, of course. Well, listen.
The same teachers who was canvassing voters list last election to tell the NDC, the young people that had finished school in the 5 years previous, so that those young people could have been canvassed and made to vote for the NDC. The same teachers?
Yeah, because you see, but they've been caught, you know? They've been caught between two rocks. They didn't know where to turn.
No, they got $1 million last year.
Right, so that's the point. I wanted you to conclude it. You see? That's the point. Now, last thing. I want to send a message to our young people. I want to send a message, not only the young persons of our country, but all the revelers, all who will be going out to the carnival activities and other functions and so on. The police officers, they are the ones that looking out for their very own lives. Okay, hard-working officers of our country. So sorry to see how they've been treated, you know, and the infringed benefits and all of that, how that work out with them. But we won't talk about that. But I want them to understand that when they're leaving home, leave their weapons home. Don't carry it with them. Don't hide it in the bushes to look for war and to use the weapons against the colleague. Because we have to live in Grenada. Grenada is our sweet little rock. That's the gem of the Caribbean. I want to maintain that sanitary life in Grenada. We want them to understand that if they've been caught violating the laws of this country, our police officers, they are going to punish them. Romans 13 makes it clear that they do not carry the sword in vain. The sword is not for the abiding law persons, but for those that break the law. And they must understand that they have parents, they have loved ones at home, people who love them, who cares for them. So they must behave themselves. Be careful about your intake of alcohol and other drugs and etc. Be careful of your behavior. You would be punished for wrongdoing. All right, so that simple message I want to give to them tonight, and everybody who would be going out to their carnival activities. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right, thank you so very much, Pastor, for bringing this one to my attention as well. Because the one night I missed the news is when One of the biggest stories for the year, boss. Ah, goodness.
Yeah, man.
All right, boss. Thank you.
Have a good night now. Have a good night.
Well, what I've got to say is this, I'm very interested in hearing what the Conference of Churches have to say. I'm very interested in hearing. Now, we've heard the president of the Teachers Union. He has represented his membership. They have made their statement in relation to this particular issue. I am very interested in hearing what other segments of our society have to say in relation to that. I think this is an issue that if you want to discuss with your children, on a one-on-one as a parent, as a father to a son and a daughter, a mother to a son and a daughter, stepchildren, nieces, nephew, grandchildren, that's one thing. You, as the parent, grandparent, uncle, aunt, take the time and discuss the issue with them. Yeah, discuss it. Don't try to force down your perspective on them. Because I'll tell you something. Young minds have a way that does work. All of us know what it was like when we were at a particular age. That if you try to force something on us too much, we tend to rebel and you get the opposite effect where we tend to accept. So have a discussion in relation to that issue with the young people as parents. But we ain't send them to school for that. They're out of order. If the Ministry of Education feel against you with that one, joke Dave and them making. Joke they making if they think they're going and do that one. I hear about it in other Caribbean territories and so on. They want to take the funding, take the funding. It's not God, it's not man that shine bread, and it's God. So if they want to take the funding, they'll stop funding you. Well, it is what it is. Yeah? But I'm very interested in hearing people's perspective on this one. I myself, I don't like to speak on things in absence of hearing what has taken place. I myself want to get the opportunity to listen to what was said and then make a determination of how I go forward on that particular issue. So you know what I'll do now? Yeah, I'm going to play what was said. Nice, yeah. I'm going to play the news report because about 3 people sent it to me in the space of time while I'm talking there.
Plans to push a new health and family life education curriculum from September that caters for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. GBN reached out to President of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, who said his union and the teachers they represent will in no way agree to reach any form of the LGBTQ curriculum in schools across the island. While there's been no official talks with the government or officials from the Ministry of Education on this topic, Bartholomew said the teachers have brought to his attention plans to include this form of education in schools. He claimed that this information was disclosed to teachers during a recent workshop.
I've been hearing talk about it with other teachers. I heard that there was a workshop in Grenada with the CTF and other persons, and what would have happened, teachers would have listened to that and hear something about the same issue or topic that you were talking about through discussion and presentation. And based on discussions and what I heard with some teachers, what they expressed, they were really, really mad. And I think that teachers, what you're hearing there, that is not our lifestyle and such, and is a bit strange and unfortunate, and teachers did really speak out about it. So I only heard about that from the teachers who were in the workshop, and that did not go down well with them.
The union leader said the present administration should not be pressured by any international organization to incorporate LGBTQ teaching in the school's curriculum, since it is against the morals and values of Grenada and its people.
Here from the Grenada Union of Teachers and from me as the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers who represent our members as teachers, this is a no-no for us. So we put it on notice to the Ministry of Education, the Minister for Education and the government of Grenada that we draw the line when it comes to that, and we say no to that in our schools. we say no to that, and teachers are saying no to that.
Echoing the same sentiments is Bishop Devon Roche, Vice Chair of the Evangelical Arms of the Caribbean. He said this is against all that Grenada and its people stands for and should not be considered.
The school system are to equip persons to be productive, producing citizens in our society. That is the primary focus of what the school system is supposed to do. So when we start introducing theories within the school system that doesn't equip you to be a productive citizen, it caused me to wonder, why do we have a school system? Is it to indoctrinate our people? And as a pastor within the society, I push back strongly against it. As a parent, I am saying that I will not accept it. I will not accept my children being taught this in any school system under any circumstances.
The pastor is calling on the Minister of Education not to be silent on the matter, but to clear the air on this sensitive issue.
And therefore, I will use this forum to also call on the minister to make a statement concerning this matter, to clarify what is happening. But it's only the Ministry of Education that could reassure us that no such agenda will be accepted at any time in Grenada, that this would not be part of the school curriculum. And outside of that, some of the books that we've seen circulating in other Caribbean countries as a direct disrespect to our people will not be accepted here.
It has been more than a week since GBN has been attempting to obtain an interview with the Minister of Education on the issue, but efforts have proven unsuccessful. As it stands, same-sex relations is illegal in Grenada. Under the Grenada Criminal Code, Section 431, the offense of unnatural crime is committed by way of sexual intercourse per annum, i.e. anal penetration. Such offense is punishable by imprisonment for 10 years. For GBN News, I am Rena Pet Thomas reporting.
All right, 440-7377, that's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. You have heard it there. And they've been trying to find the minister for a week, and they can't find the minister. Because it seems as David in the gardens hiding. David in the garden hiding from GBN. David, where art thou? David, where art thou? Well, listener, I totally had them ministers' number and all kind of thing. Yeah, because if ministers went and picked cocoa up in the countryside, is GBN and them that used to be there, that you can hold different place, GBN used to be there. All they can't find the ministers now. All of a sudden they're hiding. Exalia, good night, my love. We have a caller online. Good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am, you're live. Go right ahead.
No, according to my grandmother. How much times I call you?
Well, no, I think I hear you about 2 times. I ain't hear the third one yet.
I call in again, Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I may have to see an ENT specialist. Because right now I think I have a problem with the ears.
Your ears don't work in?
I don't think I hear you properly.
Me?
I don't think I hear what was said a while ago because I didn't get the news. I came in late for the program. But what was said a while ago, I don't think I hear it properly. That's why I saying I need to see an ENT specialist.
Yes, there's a very good one down in Montrouge, a Cuban lady. Yes. She's very good, yeah. I can recommend her.
Sometime, was it last week, you speak about this plane that came into our airspace, landed at the airport. They came off with some suitcases, went to the VIP lounge, and then they went back to the plane, and the plane fly off.
Yeah, but the suitcases stay here.
Right.
So, yeah, we hearing things. We hearing things.
And then I was in time to hear you speaking about, well, you showed the Gazette with this land and thing and blah, blah, blah with Nicholas, with what do you call the man again?
It's Sir Nicholas.
It's Sir Nicholas and blah, 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 blah. And now we're hearing, and last night you spoke about it, now we're hearing on GBN News as the newscast came there, about this thing they want to come and teach in school.
But it's carnival time, so they're hoping that everybody focused on them thing.
We're going to do the maths now, eh?
Yeah, do the maths.
When we were growing up, we say 1 and 1 is not 2. 1 and 1 is 11.
Mm-hmm.
1 plus 1 is 2.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 1 is 11. Let's do the maths. Do the maths. Either 1 plus 1 or 1 and 1. 1 and 1 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2.
Let me tell you, I believe in loving everybody. Regardless of what their sin is, I believe in loving everybody. But in our society, there are certain things that are norms. And I don't say because it's a norm now it has to remain a norm. But I think there are certain things that we should leave up to the parents. And that the state mustn't start to take over the responsibility of the parents. Because then, remember, while they're trying to tell us how to run our school system and how students don't walk in schools in Grenada and shoot it up, you know. Students don't do that here in Grenada. Yeah, and even at the point in time that students used to have firearms when back during the revolution period, we never had students walking into schools and shoot it up. So they can't even use that excuse and say, well, students here don't have access to different things. We're taking lifestyles and different things from other countries and trying to implant it in a small island state as Grenada. We need to have a national discussion on this thing. My view, maybe my view might be wrong. Somebody might be able to tell me my view is wrong. But I think we need to have a national discussion on this.
When our males started wearing the pants below the bottom, what was said?
Well, no, they tell them about the prison thing and then they tell them pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dear, I see the two.
I'm waiting for Carnival. I'm waiting for after Carnival to get the other one. So it will be 1 and 1 and 1. It wouldn't be 3. It would be 111.
All right. I seen both phone lines going off. I seen the WhatsApp going off, so you know. All right, but yeah, thank you.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. This one. Let me hear you all on this one. Yeah. Let me hear you all. Yeah. I'm very interested in hearing what you all have to say. One of my listeners, this listener has always given me some thought-provoking thing to tell me. That one announced after the Calypso and them done right for tomorrow night. Yeah, those steady. It has fellas, you feel roots man and them can throw in a little verse and all kind of thing because there's nothing. They could throw in a little verse on that and all kind of thing. You understand? I wonder if Papa Jerry's selling homosexuality. I don't know if he's selling that one. Yeah, that type of tea, Papa Jerry might cost me. He goes, say, me boy, I don't selling that tea. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Hello, Senator Scott. Good night.
Good night, sir. You're live. Go right ahead.
Boy, I know it was coming, Senator Scott. I know it was coming.
Well, you did say so about 4 months ago, eh? 4 months. I can tell you when. 4 months ago.
I tell you, it's coming. You understand? When our leader was traveling regular, just run out of the country. And I asked the question, you understand me? Are you going over there to get married or something? But I know, because I get a backlash already, something was up. You know? So I know, because the United States had to pressure Jamaica. If you Grenadian people didn't know that, I'll let you people know. You understand me? And you know, Jamaica hates this filthiness. You understand? We have one of the artists who lost his visa because he stand firm against this thing. You want to do your thing in America? You want to do your thing in Canada, Britain, wherever? But don't take it to the island. Do not do that. You understand? And when he had the Minister of Education, he just hiding, he ducking. You know? As you said before, the price is too high. Money. That will a fortune they're going behind there.
Somebody better buy them a vowel because like they can't solve this puzzle.
Well, I'm telling you. We are a Christian nation. You understand? And we oppose anything like that. And who want to come and tell with children who is man could be woman and who is woman could be man? Read the Bible. I mean, just think about it, children. You have your boys, and you don't want nobody going to school and showing your boys it's okay, daddy could buy a dress. If daddy don't buy a dress, we go find a dress for you.
But you know a strange thing with that. You know a strange thing with that though. We say that, and then you see men dressed as women walking the street on Juve morning.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
They put on dress, they put on bra, they put on wig, they put on stockings, and they walk the street as
you know,
women on Juve morning.
And saying it's only carnival.
So in a sense, are we as Grenadians a bit hypocritical on the issue if we willing to dress as women, men? You'll never see me doing it, but men dress as women and walk the streets on Juve morning and act and play out and everything like that. But when the issue comes up, we say no, not in we country. Are we a bit hypocritical? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Well, sure. We have to be firm on what we're doing. Because certain people don't have no wife. They don't want no wife. You understand me? All kind of rumors coming out here in the diaspora. You understand me? And it starts from the top. We have to get that straightened out first. Declare who you are. Anyhow you want to be, it's up to you, you know. So I hope we know what we're doing. Because Grenada will be under fire. We ain't going down that road. Go to the Bible. God make man and he make the woman to comfort man. He never say he make man for man and woman for woman. You understand? So we have to stand firm. Don't go take them things in school and go and educate the kids to mess up your whole life. And 4 or 5 years from now. But
it's you see, even before we get to there, my friend, one of the things that we have to ask ourselves though is we need to hear the Ministry of Education has to say something in relation to this.
Exactly.
They have to say, because we don't want to end up having all this discussion and at the end of the day it is not is no truth to it, or it's because the Jude and Bartholomew has said that the teachers were told that in a training session recently. They were told that.
It is true.
There's other thing that points to that in relation to the health and family life education curriculum is pointing to that being part of the curriculum now as well.
The pressure is you're trying to pressure Jamaica. Jamaica is one of the biggest one in the islands.
Well, let's see how the minister could be found, you know. GBN, go into the VIP lounge of either the show tonight, the Calypso tomorrow, or the Soca Monarch on Friday, and you'll be sure to find the entire cabinet in the VIP lounge. Ask all of them any question.
And maybe
they can't hide.
My wake-up Grenadians. That was my wake-up Grenadians. You understand? They kill a young man. Up to now, nobody know what happened. And there are those who know what happened.
The thing is that particular case has got a lot of, and you realize I haven't spoken on that case before. That particular case has got a lot of international people looking in at it right now, and it's creating a particular image of Grenada. And I think that if we local people can, well, you understand, something has to take place in relation to that. Let's just say we need an update in relation to what is taking place in relation to that and other cases. Of course, we don't expect them to give us the details, but at least let us know that something is taking place.
But one thing I have to say, Sheldon, the Minister of Health, the Educational Minister, the Prime Minister, these are the people that have to be in the forefront. Call a press conference and talk about those things. Every time.
My brother, did us call Forum to go and say that NNP had a Polish man and the man buy passport and he spent how much money, he gave NNP how much money and this kind of thing. Then did us find the time to go and put that information, people banking information out into the public. Did us find the time to do that. But to answer the Grenadian people Some of them that went and stained the finger for them on this issue, the minister cannot be found.
And you have him all the time. You have to cover the Prime Minister all the time. And when he come, you ever see Markley speak? She had turn left, right, center. When the Prime Minister speaking, it's a one-way street, you know. He had a straight, like you they put steel in the neck.
Anyway,
don't understand it.
my brother seeing the rest of our lights lighting up like a Christmas tree inside
Okay.
here. So
Anyhow,
let me
you
take
go
another
move on,
one.
I'm listening.
All right, my brother.
Yeah,
Thank
move
you.
on, listening.
All
Okay,
right,
have a good
thanks.
one.
440737, and as soon as I say that, all the lights good. Okay, yeah, this one is on. Hello, good night.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Rastafari.
Haley, I.
Listen now, this is a very interesting topic you're dealing with there. And I don't have no choice but to tell you to be very careful how you go along with this topic. Because it's a serious topic. If you notice the amount of times in succession the Prime Minister went to the climate change meeting, they was going to deal with that same situation. And remember Biden says, he ain't going to give nobody aid who ain't go along with it. You have to be careful because, I heard Pastor Rocher saying one thing, but Pastor Rocher is part of the same thing. I don't know if he's pretending he don't know, but he's part of the same thing. He's part of the same system. And even though they plain they don't know, it will come to a situation whereby you have to accept it whether you like it or not. Whether you're a teacher or pastor or prime minister or worker or CEO or whoever, you will have to go along with it or else you will suffer the consequences. This is what is coming. Shalom, you're my friend. And I want to let you know definitely to be careful with that system. This system is a dangerous system. It's a satanic system. And if you don't be careful with it, you might get yourself tied up with these people. I really don't want to get yourself tied up with these people. Understand what is taking place in the world, Shalom. We are in a world where we have lots of exposure in different forms. And we have to know what is taking place in order for us to make sensible decisions. I don't want to go along saying things that, and this thing is coming. It's coming. I mean, whether we like it or not, it's coming. I mean, whether you say you is this or you is that, it is coming our way. And we can't stop it. Because you notice this LGBTQIA, whatever they call it, has a lot of influential people within it. And a lot of millionaires, a lot of people with voices in it. So a lot of people in the hierarchy, like prime ministers and presidents and the high up positions, they all in it. So they are the ones that setting policies for the world. And if they are in it, who is me and you to reject it? If we are to reject it, there is consequences that we wouldn't like. So, Sheldon, I just want to say tonight, look at that system and look at it in a serious way. Because it's not something that is good for us and our children. It's not something that we are accustomed with. It's not something that we knew when we was young people growing up. Even now we're not accustomed to it. But it's something that the powers that be are a part of. And if they are the ones setting policies for the world, obviously, you will find, there is consequences. Just recently, there is problem in Jamaica where I think it was the ambassador to Jamaica from the U.S., the U.S. ambassador to Jamaica, stepping in a video with the wife. The wife chest harder than they walk, and she had shaved clean, and he's a man. So a man in a dress in Jamaica. And Jamaica was furious about it. At the end of the day, what they would have to do? They would have to accept it. Or else, there will be consequences. I'm just saying, in a nutshell, please, as a personal friend, look at the system carefully. Look at what is taking place. I know you're a man with brilliance. And so I pray that you will ask God for the discernment of spirit to sort this thing out and look at it in a very, 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 very careful way. Don't get tied up in it. But what you have to do, do it in a way that you can defend yourself when you see something or when you do something.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
All right. 4407370. Oh, we have got a caller online. Good night.
Yeah, good night, this is Scott.
Hi, good night.
How you doing?
I'm quite fine.
Right. Now all this old talk be, there's only one man that is in charge, and it's the Most High God. And he said, the book say, go forth and multiply. Right? Man and man cannot multiply. Woman and woman cannot multiply. So your population is down. Your population is down. How would you bring your population?
Well, it has been said by this government and previous governments that we are underpopulated. We need to increase our population size.
So would we improve it by man and man? A woman and woman?
Well, my friend, as I said, a wider discussion on the issue needs to take place. Whether I am the person to lead that discussion or others are to lead that discussion doesn't matter. We need to have a wider national discussion on this issue. It must not be a case that it is forced on parents that because we have to send our children to school, they have to be exposed to it. A discussion needs to take place as to what is being proposed, what is coming, and how we as parents are to deal with it. I have a child in secondary school. Which means that he is going to be faced with that curriculum. How do we address that? And especially when you're hearing from the teachers who are being asked to put forward that curriculum that they don't agree with it.
Exactly. And they will be walking.
So it's a problem.
Yes.
So we need to hear from the Minister of Education, who is going to be the key person for the implementation of this in the education system. We need to hear from him. No if, what about it.
Because
we is the boss, we pay his salary. He can't decide he ain't talking to us. He has to come out and say something.
Because the teachers won't be doing that of their free will. You understand? It will be forced on them. You understand? So it's a matter where you're forcing them like you're holding a gun to their head.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this story develops over the next few weeks and months. Very, very interesting.
We're looking on to see how that is unfolding.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good night.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting over the next few days, weeks, months, and so to see how this story develops. Because I really want, no, seriously, I want to hear from the minister himself. I want to hear what he has to say. Is he going to come to tell us that he is being forced and the government is being forced to do it? Are they doing it of their own free will? Are they being forced to do it? How come countries like Jamaica and Grenada, well, I don't know if the case is Grenada, but let's say Jamaica and other countries are being forced to implement this, something that isn't in the school system, the curriculum in the US in certain places anyway. How come countries like us are being forced, but countries like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, they ain't being forced to take no ambassador and to have it in the education system? So it's only one set of rules for one set of people and a different set for a different set. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Hi, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night,
Hi,
good night.
brother Sheldon, good man.
Green man is there.
Yeah, man. So how things?
Quite fine, my brother.
Listen, a few years ago, about 2 to 3 years ago, America has something like that in talking about man and woman and man and man and so on. And we have a so-called pastor in Grenada go against that, He preach about it over and over. He said that will never happen in Grenada. And now, distant governor, no another year, he said nothing. Do they?
Well,
Hello?
my brother, I'm extremely interested in hearing the government's perspective on this.
Yeah, but
if it's to go and pick
that
cocoa in the
pastor-
countryside or to play marble pitch in our next area or to joke hole in
Yeah,
Bojeju,
son.
they could find them, but for this you can't be found?
But that pastor preach about it because I put on my radio and he preach that will never happen in Grenada. Not under his watch, but I don't hear him say nothing now. Well, that can happen. And are they listening?
All right, my brother.
You take care.
All right, great. And you see, that's the thing, eh? As a small island state, you are pressured into certain positions. I understand that. But in the same token, you ain't Kuwait and them countries, Qatar and them, you ain't here telling them all you have to put that in your education system. You ain't see they trying to force them to do certain things. So, I mean, oh boy. We have a caller. Good night.
Sheldon?
Yes, sir.
Good night. How are you?
I am fine, sir.
Well, it seems so because I hear your voice. Your voice looking real heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Listen, this thing I was just talking about it. About a week or 2 weeks ago, I was playing with my telephone, and I saw these things, and they mentioned about Grenada and some other countries. And they was telling you that they are against it because how much years they could get in prison for. So I don't know if I see that, I don't know how others cannot see it. But it's a couple of Caribbean countries, and the main one was Jamaica. So when I looked through, I saw Grenada in it, and they was talking about Grenada too, because I think they talk about some 10 years. If these things happen, it's 10 years imprisonment, like that. So I don't know if you heard that or saw that before.
No, and you see, listen, even when Grenada was going through the process of the constitutional reform, when Grenada was going through that process, there were voices out there that were saying that we were trying to introduce that and that we should leave the constitution as is. I'll ask anybody now to go online and take a look at the Grenada constitution and take a look at the constitution of Belize. They're exactly the same. The only thing that changes in Grenada won't say Grenada and Belize won't say Belize. But word for word, same thing.
Yeah.
The Belize constitution was challenged in court in relation to that issue. So when people thought that they were voting against the constitution reform process because that there was some sort of thing to introduce that here into Grenada, what they in effect did, and I tried to explain that to some people, they just wouldn't listen. What they in effect did is left the constitution in the same way that Belize own that has been challenged and defeated. They left Grenada's constitution in the same position. So sooner or later you'll be hearing something along those lines as well.
I know. And I heard somebody was talking to and telling you about the churches. But I know for sure that the church that I attend is against that. I know this is what they call in on churches. The churches could say no.
Well, let's see.
I realize some of them not in favor of these things. But it's just to be seen. Now, the next point I want to raise with you is that how you call this place is Time Warner. This thing with Radisson now.
Oh, that Time Burke. You have Time Burke, who is the present. That's Lewis Hamilton's company. They are the present holders of the lease on that property down there. So yeah.
You know, I was there for 3 years, huh?
I hadn't known so.
Huh?
I didn't know so. Now I know.
I was there for 3 years. Besides, what I'm telling you is that as far as I hear what all you say about the news, before the Governor General, I think that time was Danny Williams. So Danny Williams. Did they ask him for any input concerning these things?
Like what they're doing now?
Or whatever.
Like what they're doing now?
The business, transfer business from one to the next?
No, you mean in relation to what they're doing now? I could, even without asking Sir Danny, tell you 100% no. They didn't ask a question.
Well, yeah, but why is the reason why they're talking about the present Governor General? What happened? They want to put the Governor General
No, it must be done. It must be done by the Governor General. The transfer has to be done by the Governor General. And in this case, it's being done on the advice of Cabinet. So you must mention the Governor General because that is the person, when the Gazette is published, it is a follow-up to something that she has signed. but she has signed that based on what cabinet has asked her to do.
All right, let me ask you a further question on that. Does the cabinet, whoever is there, do they discuss these things with the Governor General?
Discuss? No, I think they just basically send it and say sign that.
Well, right. So then they putting the blame on the Governor General, in my view.
Well, no, I think the document is clear when it says based on the advice of cabinet. So I would not like people to blame the Governor General for this. And I'm glad that you've made that point. The Governor General is blameless in this. They're carrying out their duty. Yeah?
All right.
Yeah, they're carrying out their duty. And I'm glad that you raised that point.
Yeah, because I have some idea about some of these things. So this is the reason why I call, and I heard people talking about that. I said, let me call and ask about that likewise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but,
okay.
It's left to be seen. Let's see what happens. And take care of yourself.
All
I'm
right.
listening to your program.
Okay, my brother.
Good.
4407377. Yeah, so that's what's going on in the schools. Okay, all right. Let me ask a question as well, though, since I'm on this. Where's the press secretary? Madam Press Secretary. Do we still have the same press secretary? I'm asking a question. Do we still have the same press secretary? Is the press secretary active? Do we have a press secretary? Is there a new press secretary? What's taking place there? And I don't know why I'm asking. We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
It's me again, eh?
Mm-hmm.
This thing.
Pay attention to the phone line, please.
Yeah, this thing, I call it a thing, eh? This thing that they want to roll off in the school day.
Issue. Let's call it an issue.
Is it for the new school year coming?
Well, we don't know. They can't find the minister to find out. So we all have to call on the minister to come out. We don't care if it's carnival. Come out and talk. Yeah, it's carnival time, right? We want him to come out and talk. You understand?
Sharon?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure you don't have people missing from Monge?
From up there, anything is possible these days, but I think everybody who's supposed to be inside, well, no, let me don't say that. Nah, I might be wrong.
You can't say that, but I'm
I might
asking
be
you.
wrong.
Sure you don't have people
Dr.
missing
Panchu,
from Monge,
might be able to help me. But
I have people outside that need to go inside.
Well, I know. I hope they're getting medication now, though. Those who are there. And those who are outside and need to get the medication, I hope they're getting it too.
I just want to know if this thing would be implemented in this new school year coming.
Yeah. Well, we'll try to find out.
Okay then.
Okay, my dear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I know I missed a caller on the WhatsApp. Let me see if I can get back that call. It's been quite a while. I think that person called. Yeah. Let me see if I can get back that caller that called on the WhatsApp. And because I'm sure they had a contribution they'd like to make. Yeah, where the press secretary, all you? Madam Press Secretary, were you there? Yeah? Oh, nobody. Yeah, serious. We want to find out where Madam Press Secretary is. We have a caller. Good night. Yes, ma'am. You're live. Go right ahead.
Oh, Sheldon, you? Sorry.
Yes, I called back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you're live on air, eh? You're live on air.
Yes, that was my grandson that they called me.
Okay.
Yes. But what I'm saying, they want to do as America, but they will get jail. They're going to get jail. They're going to get jail if they go and interfere with them kids in school. Because a lot of them don't interfere with kids in school. Right?
Madam,
they'll get trouble for that.
I have no information to verify what you're saying there. Although you didn't call no name and you didn't say any specific set of people. All you say is jail go pass. All you say is jail go pass.
The church and them interfere with them children when they were small too. And a lot of priests get jailed for that.
So
understand?
Let's just see. Let's just say that the law will take its course, and on certain crimes there are no statutes of limitations.
Yeah, and we have to rebuke that. In the name of Jesus, we have to rebuke that. You understand?
All right, my dear. Thank you so very much. All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We've got another caller online. Good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine. Go right ahead. You're live.
I want to address this from the Word of God in terms of Revelation chapter 18 and verse 3. And it's read as, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath, of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are vexed and rich, through the abomination of her delicacies." So it is important that, when we look at that scripture, that these things are driven by a Jezebel spirit, and then all the nations, all the hierarchies, the prime ministers, and he's saying it's woe to them that partake of that things that they are trying to push through the Caribbean, and it speaks specifically to those that know Christ. They should inform that the young ones that they shouldn't be a part, even if they are part of it, because and that is where it comes along with that says, my people are destroyed because of the lack of knowledge. And it's important that our people are educated, especially in the Christian realm, because if we are going to be misled by doctrines that just popping up, and that is not embedded in the word, and that is why it's important that we know the scripture for a fair knowledge, so that we can guide and our young ones, as the scripture would say, bring up the children in the fear and admonition of the Lord. And when they're older, they will not depart from that. So the children would have adequate knowledge in order to guide them to understand, well, this is not biblical. What is happening now is not biblical. And even if that they are in a position to make a better judgment as one of the callers said, that we cannot avoid it from coming. But we have to be prepared. We have to prepare our young minds in a way, in terms of biblical understanding, biblical knowledge, that they will fall prey to the system that is coming. And it's just a sad day, it's just a sad day. It will be a sad day for the world.
Let's hear from the government and from in particular the Minister of Health, Minister of Education. Yeah, I'd like to hear from the Minister of Health too, as a pastor too. I want to hear what he had to say, because if he does not agree with something...
Jonathan is also inside it, that knows the word of God. And this guy is supposed to...
For some reason, caller, I'm hearing a lot of feedback coming from something playing very loudly behind you. They need to ting it down a bit. I wasn't getting it so bad, no, but I just started to get it a little loud.
Yeah, so, there are ministers that know the truth, and they are playing spiritual footsie.
Well, what I'd say is this. If, as a member of cabinet, you disagree with something that the government is about to implement, the correct thing to do is to resign. Yeah, because once it is implemented and you are part of the cabinet that implemented it, it means that you give your agreement to it. Yeah? So you're supposed to resign. If you don't agree, I think Mr. Teleswat is also supposed to be a pastor of sorts. If he does not agree with what his government is going to implement, then he needs to resign. And every other member within the administration, because they have between two choices, implement it and take full responsibility, right? Or they can resign if it is being implemented. Or there's a third option, don't implement it and face the consequences.
But you see, you have to be very, very spiritual grounded for you to take that stand, because if you are standing on the premises of God, because the word declare that here Israel, our God is one, and if they don't uphold the fundamental teachings and of the principles of the word, they will not be able to to stand and take that sort of action. So which means that they will have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and they're undecided, and then they're going to split.
But I'm very interested in hearing people like we're speaking here about the Christian community. I'm very interested in hearing what one of the executive members of the NDC, Mr. Azam Rahman, and the Islamic community has to say about this, because I've been following his Facebook page for the past few weeks, and he has been very against LGBTQ and all of that. And his political organization in government seems to be heading to the direction of implementing this in the school system. Is he going to remain a member, and is he going to condone it, or just turn his face and say, is Mr. Azam Rahman going to say is okay because it's the NDC doing it? Or is he going to stand on principle and resign out of the political organization that is at the helm of ensuring that that is enshrined in the education system here in Trinidad? So I'm interested in hearing people like Mr. Azam Rahman. I'm interested, yes, I'm calling names. Mr. Azam Rahman. I'm interested in hearing Mr. Telesford. I'm interested in hearing Lako. I want to hear what they've got to say.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think sometime last week I noticed something on the Seventh-day Adventist community pastors saying that it's time that they speak out on the LGBT situation that is not happening. And I wondering why it is that these things has been happening for so long, has been going on, and the ministers, even the ministers within our island is not speaking out on these things. So somehow you have to wonder what is really happening. Are they
But remember,
on God's side?
According to what Kami said a few nights ago, there's a particular pastor who like to be on radio who does be marrying same-sex couples, huh?
Well,
here in Grenada.
I know.
Down at a particular facility, I ain't calling names in the south of the island.
There's quite a lot of them that is involved in that. The fact about it is, in Peter, if he said the righteous going to be scarcely be saved, where would the ungodly appear?
I'm interested in hearing the government speak on this one. I hope to see them very early next week, after all the merriment is over, to see them very early next week addressing this issue. I think many Grenadians are...
It's important. It's not something that is going down nice because of our spiritual backgrounds. As we say, we cannot create anything with two men. It wasn't Adam and Adam. It was Adam and Eve, and there is no way that we could survive. But
well, let's see, brother, because believe me, I'm interested in hearing what they have to say.
Yeah, it's important. I think
I want to hear where their head is at on this one.
We are going to wake up to a rude awakening, and the Christians would have to get up. We would have to get up, wage our spiritual warfare against these things. Otherwise, I don't think there is any way that we can overturn that if we just keep silent.
All right.
Maybe God continue to bless you and bless the listeners that are listening through the state of Grenada tonight. Okay?
All right. Thank you so very much, Pastor. All right. Good. Well, yeah. 4407. That wasn't where I come and talk about tonight, but we, Papa. Wow. 44073777. That's the number to call and to get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, let me hear your views in relation to this particular issue. We've been hearing about it with other Caribbean islands. Now we're hearing about it down here. Is the government here going to take the position of the Jamaican government in relation to it, and several sectors in Bahamas and so on that have said straight out, no way, it ain't taking place, we're not accepting that? Is the government here going to take that position? Are they going to take the position of, we'll accept based on consultation and agreement of the Grenadian people? Are they going to take to the position of, well, the Grenadian people voted us in, we have the wherewithal to go ahead and do it, we're just going ahead and do it, people go fall in line? What is the position? What's taking place? Yeah? And GBN, if you really want to find the minister, call it, watch, all you do have the minister's number, all you want the numbers, I could get them for all you, Somebody in the WhatsApp, send Minister Dave number for me. If all you want the number, we could get the number to all you, GBN, MTV, CCTV, whoever, we get the number to all you. Call them. Yeah? Because I know, they've told the ministers that none of them are supposed to appear on the media unless they get the okay from the, either the press secretary or whoever. I don't know if it have a press secretary still or if they're changing or if they haven't. I ain't all kind of talk. I ain't all kind of talk when it comes to press secretary and thing. People who does write press releases with artificial intelligence and things say so. I ain't all kind of things. All right, and no, we don't want to hear artificial intelligence on this one. We want to hear, the natural thing. We want to hear people talk. Don't come with no type speech in front of us. Yeah? Don't come with no artificial intelligence typed speech in front of us. We want to hear what it is that is planned. If what we are hearing is true, we want to hear so. Tell us it is true. This is what is taking place. Give us the reasoning behind it and so on. Yeah? Let us know. The teachers are saying it's true. The president of the Teachers Union is saying it's true. And from a perusal of the Health and Family Life Education portfolio, what do you call it again? Curriculum. It seems as though it's true. So let's hear. And then the question has been asked on the program as well. Is this something that's going to be gone into in the upcoming semester, upcoming term? Yeah? Is that going to be coming up for the upcoming school year? So starting September, in a few weeks, is that going to be taught to our children? Or is it that there's an implementation of it's going to start in 2024, in January or in September or something? What is taking place? Yeah? I think as parents, we have a right to know. We may agree, we may not agree. But one thing everybody should agree on is that we have a right to know and to have a say in relation to this issue. So don't think they go hide behind Carnival and say, well, it's Carnival and we're thinking. Don't try to hide. The same way they're trying to hide things in between the government gazette. And you see how much things, and there's still other things I ain't raised yet in relation to the government gazette. There's something even bigger there that I have to raise that's in the government gazette from last week that I leave alone so far. And I feel I'll go raise that next week. I didn't even want to raise that this week. Yeah? I'll raise that one next week. But we need to know what is going on. All right? Nice. 440-7377. I think there's a call online. Good night.
Sheldon, sorry, I won't be long.
Yeah.
Let's hope this is not a distraction from other important issues.
Well, my brother, you know one thing they won't be able to do is distract people.
At hand to let people know what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
That could be simple a distraction, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I just say let me call you and tell you that.
All right, my brother.
All
Thank
right,
you.
take care.
Yeah. Well, let's see what comes out. Yeah, I know they usually make, now they started, since we call them out on it, they start making their in parliament, they start making their parliamentary statements, their ministerial statements, and so let's hear. Yeah? And let me say it clearly. Is one for all for one. If you do not agree, you're a cabinet member, you're a member of the Senate or of the House of Representatives, you are a cabinet member, and you do not agree with a decision to implement something by the government, the correct and moral thing to do is to resign. State the reason and resign. Yeah? Because once it is implemented, it means that you, yes, you, Lako, yes, you, Telesford, and even you, Mr. Rahman, that you all have agreed with what is being done. Yeah? So you all have an option to stick around or to go out. Yeah? You all have an option. It's a nice option. I had to stick nowhere and go nowhere, nothing. I could have my view in relation to it. Yeah? Nice? So you want to hear what all your view is in relation to it. And if all you go agree for it. Yeah? And if all you go sit down there and be part of the organization that passes it, whether the political or the government, because right now we can't tell the difference when it comes to the NDC. We cannot tell the difference between the political and the government. We can't really tell any difference there. Yeah? Tomorrow, folks, because we're quickly running out of time tomorrow at 5 p.m., Simon Says. I look forward to that one. Yeah, there's some revealing revelations that are going to be made by Miss Jenny Simon on Simon Says tomorrow at 5 p.m. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But, yeah, oh my goodness, the time. Folks, we're nearly out of time. I might be able to grab that phone call. If it's a quick one, caller, you had to make it real quick because we're nearly out of time. So you go right ahead. 1 minute.
To resign. Will you get the money to the $1.7 million? Will you get the money? What's that tax family before you go?
Okay, brother. In case you all didn't hear what the caller said, they said if certain people resign, they wouldn't get back the $1.7 million to pay back the bank. Anyway, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you in everything you say and do. Do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Tomorrow night, we are on from 8 p.m. with more Talking Points just for you. The final one for the week. I will be having certain people calling in with certain... Yeah, we're going to be having a nice one tomorrow night. And I hope between tonight and tomorrow, they could actually find the minister to find out what's really going on. Or see the prime minister somewhere and ask him what's going on with them kind of things. So, and investigations. And we hearing all kind of things, name calling when they go in town. People calling all kind of people name. Yeah, they're saying all kind of name in relation to... people that were found and thing, and they're calling people name and they're saying hierarchy and all kind of, you're hearing all kind of things taking place. I know that's why certain people looking kind of stressed out. But anyhow, folks, as I said, that's all the time we have for tonight. I am out. And I won't play that Randy Isaac, that Look Before You Leap Before I Go, because it is so timely. All right, love each and every one of you. We'll be back on tomorrow night with more Talking Points for you from 8 p.m. sharp.
Think about it first. Dan dan do di dan da da. Oh, as a calypsonian, the true voice of the people, to lead you on the right path, I'm responsible. The decisions you make not only decides your fate, but is an entire country. It could make or break. Invested in you from the day that you were born. We are king and queens, we have control, not to be used as any pawn. That God-given gift so we can know what is right from what is wrong. And in everything that we do, always in for positive outcome. Look before you lead, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a big heap of look before you leap. For curiosity, take a peep. Look before you end up drowning in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you're sure about it. Don't jump, don't act like you're mad. Don't jump, it might be too dangerous. Think about it first. Don't jump. Once you leave the rock, don't jump, and not turning back. No, try to avoid disaster. Selfishness and greed be your hindrance. This will surely block your way once given a chance. And all the strides you have made to progress that will fade. And all the goals that you set out for suddenly is all great. Be a leader and don't just follow. Or you could end up following clowns. Or you could be like birds that should be soaring, but somehow can get off the ground. With every step that you'll be taking, make sure you take a long hard look. And one thing to always remember, the cover can't help you judge the book. Look before you leap, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up